And it's your girl Joan coming your way today. And if you're joining me for the very first time, I talk about relationship, I talk about life skills, I talk about tech, I talk about music, I talk about business. Yeah, kinda. Well, so you should be a part of this community. I have several communities. I have the Christian singles community, and then that is paid for. It's subscription based, and right now it's a one-time fee. I have just the single zone that is free of charge. You can join it. It's free. I have the couples community. I have lifesaver community. I have the heal and lead community. So I have all of this community, and you can plug in into anyone that you prefer. All right, so let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is choicism. Now, choicism is a word I coined. I did not see it anywhere. I don't know if anyone else is using that word, but I was in my room one day and I thought about the fact that something can be called choicism. And I created a concept around choicism. Now, before I go on, have you subscribed to this channel? If you've not, click on the subscribe button and be a part of this community, at least on YouTube, right? Okay, so let's get into choicism. Now, what is choicism? I'm going to break it down in a very simple way. Choicism has to do with all the derivatives, all the things that inform your decision making process and helps you to arrive at a final choice. So, let's say you are someone who was never educated, right? And then you want to start a business. Now, the fact that the person is not sound educationally can affect their choices in life, right? Now, let's say you went to school, you're educated, but apart from the things you were taught in school, you've not actually committed yourself to personal development. So, since you left the university or the polytechnic as it may be, you've never taken any extra courses, you've never applied to take any sort of certification, you don't really listen to anybody on YouTube. Maybe you only go on YouTube to watch films or videos or entertainment skits and all. Your choicism is also going to be poor, because what that means is that you do not have enough mental empowerment or mental what's that word now, capacity to make certain kind of choices. And that is why you see that there are some level of results you may not have, because there are some kinds of decision you cannot take because you don't even know that you should be making those choices in the first place. And then there is this other dimension of choicism where I'm going somewhere, stay with me. There is this other dimension of choicism that has to do with you not actually knowing what a person is going through that makes them to make the choice they've made. So, for example, I was on TikTok the other day and someone said something and it was so powerful. It stayed with me because I could totally relate with what the person was saying. The person said, many times you only see the decision I mean, you only see the decision a person makes. You do not see the choices the person had. So you cannot compare a person who grew up in a home where they had everything with a person who grew up in a dysfunctional home where they were, probably raised in poverty. Their worlds will be different. So you cannot compare both persons because the choicism that the person from a privileged home have is different from the choicism that the person from an underserved community have or has, whatever the case may be. So I'm saying this because I'm going somewhere. In your daily interaction with people, in interacting with people and in relating with people, it's important that we consider the choicism behind what they are doing. Because many times we judge people because we do not understand their choicism. So for example, a person you go somewhere or you are out on the street and then you see a person in a rumpled outfit, right? And in your mind you're like, wow, this person cannot even take a few minutes to even iron their clothes. But you don't know what happened. What if that person's iron blew up that morning? before leaving the house, and they just had no other choice but to wear that clothes that way. Maybe they had to go to work, and they probably work in a place where you cannot table any excuse not to be at work. And the person just had to wear what they had and go to work like that. But you are just seeing a person who is wearing a rumpled dress or outfit. You do not understand the choicism that has predisposed that person to that final decision of just wearing that clothes the way it is. You're getting the drift, right? A person produced a movie, right? And you're criticizing it and all. You don't even know the funds they had and how they had to manage it to be able to get that movie out. But you're there criticizing what they've done because you do not understand their choicism. You're only speaking from your own perspective. Understanding and giving choicism in a place, understanding and giving choicism a place in your process of thinking, in your process of concluding or making a conclusion can make your relationship as a leader, as a husband, as a wife, as a teacher, as a mentor, as a whatever. It can make any form and any kind of relationship easier. As I'm speaking right now, I just remember that opening part of Stephen Covey's book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. If you've read it, you know what I'm about to talk about. Where they were, was it a train station or maybe an airport? I cannot remember. And those children were really noisy. And he was like, wow, can't this woman just control her kids? Right? They were just noisy and very restless and all. But guess what? When eventually someone the courage to actually tell the madam, can't you just, I don't know if it was even a madam or a woman, but he had to like tell the person that, can you just speak to your children? They are really restless. And the person answered that, oh, they just lost their dad or one of their parents. And, that shifted the perspective. So there are many conclusions you and even I have made several times because we've forgotten the choices in factor. You're not considering the fact that, okay, what could have predisposed this person to this type of action? What could have predisposed this person to this final decision? Why is this person acting like this? Why is this person behaving like this? Why is this person doing like this? Why is this person acting this way? Why has this person suddenly become quiet or secluded or isolated? What is going on? Can you give people room and consider their choices? You see, if you're able to do this, this can totally change your relationship. It can change your healing process. It can change your marriage. It can change how you deal with your leaders or even the people you lead as a leader yourself. It can change every dimension and every aspect of every form and every kind of relationship. You know, there are times you even have a particular client that is okay relatively, and then on this particular day, this client is just on the edge. What if something is actually going on with that client? Right? Choicism is at work. You need to ask, okay, why is this person using this set of words? Is something going on with that person? It now takes you employing emotional intelligence to be the more matured person to handle that situation well. And oftentimes, maybe when things are better, you might eventually find out that something was actually going on with that client. Something was actually going on with that customer, but you were not aware. And you may be like, why is this person unusually saucy today? I'm not excusing their behavior. No, everybody is responsible for their behavior. Everybody is responsible for how they treat other people. But there is something I usually say, there is never a reason to be unkind. Nobody has an excuse to be unkind. So people might actually drop the ball and be unkind, say the wrong things, act the wrong ways. But if you are matured enough to actually identify that this person is actually acting wrongly, this person is saying the wrong words, you can be the matured person to say, okay, I will not go down that slope. I will do better. I will respond better. I will act better. I will not descend to their level. And eventually that person will come up to your level when they're in a better place. So I am saying all of this to let you know that in your relationship, in your interpersonal interaction with people, and even in dealing with your own self, you see, one of the ways that you can forgive yourself for your mistake is when you actually consider choices in. There are some things that you would learn to forgive yourself about when you remember that you were also in a tight corner. it is not an excuse, right? But you can actually come to a place where you can remember that you were human and you made that mistake. And choicism even helps you to identify how to improve yourself so that you have a better exposure to actually make better decisions subsequently. So you've been in a relationship with the person, but maybe prior to the time you enter that relationship, you've never really read any book on relationship. You were not accountable to anyone, right? And so many things happened around it, and then the relationship battered. It did all manner of things to you. You can forgive yourself because you know that as at the time you entered that relationship, you were ignorant. But then you can decide to actually be a better person by now investing in yourself, getting the right knowledge, and ensuring that when next you want to go into a relationship, you have more quality choices in. You are more empowered mentally to actually make a better choice. You are more empowered to identify red flags when they show up. And so you don't have to waste your time in a relationship that would actually lead to trauma or, take you from 10 to 0, right? Or maybe you invested in a business deal and it went south, or is it not? Okay, whether south or not, but what I'm trying to say is that it went bad, right? And then you're asking yourself that, how did I fall into this? Sometimes you might need to ask yourself, what was your choices in? Were you financially, what's that word? Were you a person that have invested in yourself with regards to understanding investment? Did you do your own work? Did you understand that you actually needed to get a contract? Get a lawyer. Maybe you understudied the business well, or maybe you even failed because of greed. They were promising you exorbitant profit, and that got to you. So instead of actually doing your research as to how will they actually be able to give me this percentage of profit, you were just carried away by the profit and you did not do your research. So these are things that you can tell yourself and you can say, okay, I did not know better then, but I want to now know better. So you now empower your choices in by learning about finances, by learning about investment, by learning about fraudulent practices, how scammers get people, how people can play on your greed, right? To collect your money. You think you're smart, but they're actually playing you, right? You need to be able to accept how poor your choicism was and decide that you will empower your choicism and make it a quality choicism so that when next you want to make a decision, you can fetch from the quality and the investment you've put in that area of your life. And from what I've said so far, you'd understand that choicism applies in different areas in every single aspect of life, whether it is your finances, whether it is your health, whether it is your relationship, whether it is in your career. Choicism applies everywhere because it has to do with decision making. Wherever decision making is involved, there is choicism. There are factors that are influencing that decision that you made. So the factors can influence your decision making process poorly, or it can influence your decision making with a right perspective. So, but the underlying thing here is that it is important that you invest in yourself. Invest in yourself so that every time you are making a decision, you are making an informed decision. Investing in yourself, investing in your knowledge quotient empowers your choices. There are all the poor decisions you've made were made because you didn't know something. And the next set of decisions you can make can be better if you would actually know what you should know. I'm saying something right. You see why you should subscribe. Subscribe to this channel because I'm dishing out stuff, right? Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And this is why you should also share this. I would like you to do me a favor. Share this link with someone. You can copy the link of this video and share it on your WhatsApp status. Let someone see this because there is somebody out there that is wondering why their life is stagnant. But what is actually playing out is choicism. There is nothing wrong with them. They just don't have the capacity for making right decisions. And the only way you can make right decisions is when you are informed. And that's why they call it an informed decision, because you are making that decision because you are now informed about it. So if you sit down with your life and you do a self-evaluation, because there's something I used to say, and that is that your reality is a feedback. Evaluate it. Your current lifestyle The current state of your life, whatever you are going through right now, wherever you find yourself right now, is a reality and it's a feedback, and you can evaluate it. You can do monitoring and evaluation. And when you do evaluate your life and you find out that you have been making poor choices upon poor choices upon poor choices, what that means is that you need to empower your choices. You need to gain more knowledge. You need to invest yourself in the right things that can empower you to now begin to make the right choices going forward. Because you cannot afford to keep making poor choices and poor choices and poor choices upon poor choices. So you've done about 4 different investments and all 4 of them were bad. They went bad. What is it that you don't know that keeps making you to fall for bad investment? You've been in 7 relationships and all of them took advantage of you. What is it that you don't know that makes you to continue to fall in that trap of the same kind of relationship? Because if perpetually you are making the same mistakes, it means you're not learning the right lessons. It means that you don't know what you're doing wrong, and so you will continue to repeat it. And right now, if that is your case, if you don't get the right knowledge, if you don't empower your choices in, most likely you may fall into that same mistake. You may repeat the same mistake again. The only way you can prevent yourself from continuing to make poor choices or make poor decisions is to empower your choices in by getting the right knowledge in that field. So if you find out that your choicism has been poor financially, get financial knowledge. If you find out that your choicism has been poor relationally, get relational intelligence. That is my area, right? That is one thing. That is my expertise. If you find out that your choicism has been poor when it comes to your career path, get an HR person, get a coach, a transformational coach, right? Whatever it is, make sure you are empowering your choicism so that when you do make decisions, you are making an informed decision. You are making that decision from a place of information. You are not making that decision from a place of ignorance. You are not just doing tinini tanana biko biko. Sorry for my non-Nigerian audience. You're just casting a lot. That one is with a song. There's a song tinini tanana biko biko Maria baby na 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 na. I don't know the rest of the song, but the idea is when we want to make a choice, we just do that, and whoever the last lot falls on, or whatever it falls on, that is the decision. Don't live your life like that. Your life is too precious for you to just make decisions anyhow. You need to ensure that you have the right knowledge about whatever it is you're about to take a decision in. You want to buy a car. Are you informed? Do you know about cars? Do you understand what you need to do to ensure that you are not buying a liability? You want to move into a new apartment. Do you understand the signs you need to look out for to know if the roof leaks, if they have water issues, stuffs like that, if you have good neighbors? So, are you empowering your choices? So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought, and that is the fact that you need to ensure that every day you are empowering your choices. You are following people, and you have mentors, you have coaches, you have counselors, you have people around your life that are empowering your choices. They're exposing you to truths. They're exposing you to the knowledge, the information you need to know and have to ensure that each time you are making a decision, you are making it from an informed place. Therefore, the choice will now be an informed choice, an informed decision. So, like I said, your reality is a feedback. Evaluate it, right? A lot of people celebrate their birthdays, they just go out, they eat and all. But I want to advise you, if you've not been doing this, make sure that days or even weeks before your birthday, you evaluate your life. And if you've been doing that, you can take it a step further to evaluate your life, even monthly or by quarterly, or even quarterly, every 3 months, 3 months interval. Sit down with your life and evaluate yourself. Am I really moving forward? Am I going forward? The decisions I've been making, have I been making poor decisions, or have I been making informed decisions? So, whatever the feedback is, just ensure that you are empowering your choices. Ensure that you're gaining knowledge. You're impacting yourself. If there are courses you need to buy, buy it. If you need to get a personal coach, get it. If you need to get a counselor, get it. If you need to get a new certification or course, get it. If you need to join communities, join. Whatever it is you need to do, ensure that you're empowering your choicism? Has this been value for your time? Have you learned something new? Like I said, choicism is actually an original concept that I coined myself, right? Maybe the entire idea of what I'm saying may not be new to you, but choicism itself is just a concept that I thought about and I'm like, people should actually know about this. And I hope it has been value for your time, right? And I think you should also share it with someone. Don't keep this to yourself. Don't be a gatekeeper, right? So share this link on your WhatsApp status, or if there is a specific person you think should know what I've just said, share it with them. And finally, support me by subscribing to this YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that when next I share a video, you actually know and be a part of those that will glean from the things that I share. It has been nice speaking with you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. I'd like to hear all about it. And if you want to reach out to me, my details are also there in the description section of this video. I want to hear from you. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and see you next time. Bye.